Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So for the past 3 days, I have been in quite a bit of pain. I've been waking up sore all over, and just now I'm starting to get back to normal. So here's what happened. About 4 days ago, I called a personal trainer in the area because I'm wanting to do this fitness event in a couple of weeks called Rise Up, which you would have seen me promoting. And so I'm testing out different personal trainers who come here. I see how they work. And then I'm going to have them come to the event and do some group training sessions with our attendees. So anyway, I call this guy, he's in Harco, comes from about 25 minutes away, and we meet at the gym here, and I say to him, okay, just do whatever kind of workout you normally do, just let's do this for an hour. So he says, okay, and we start going through all these different exercises, and none of them were really over the top, like the weights weren't enormous or anything like that, but he had me doing all these different postures and movements that I'm not really used to. Normally my workouts are pretty simple. I just go for a run on the beach, or I'll get on the boxing bag and do a few rounds, and that's it. But he had me doing all these unusual activities like different types of squats and things I don't normally do. I'm not much of a fitness buff. I just do what's simple and what works for me. By the end of it, I was physically exhausted, but I felt good about it. And that afternoon, I felt tired, but I felt okay. The very next morning, I woke up barely able to move. That's how I felt. My back, my shoulders, my legs, everything was in pain. And that's because he had me doing all these different exercises that were using muscles that I don't normally engage. Now, as soon as I saw this personal trainer, I knew this was someone who actually practices what he preaches. You know how you can look at someone and you know straight away that this is someone who works out daily and they know what they're doing. Well, I knew straight away this is someone who takes personal fitness very, very seriously. And the reason why I bring this up is because in this area of my life, fitness, I was comparing myself to the average person and thinking that I was doing all right. I can run continuously for a good 45 minutes and feel okay with that. I can get on the boxing bag and do 5 rounds reasonably easy, 5 intense rounds, 3 minutes each. So I was feeling okay about my fitness. I was feeling pretty good about it. But after this workout, after comparing myself to someone on this level, I know that I've got a long, long way to go. And that's the point of this video. In any area of your life, whether it be fitness, your career, or whatever it is, if you're striving to get good, you want to be really competent at what you do, you want to be among the very best, then one of the most important questions you can ask yourself is, who am I comparing myself to? We all have this circle of peers that we like to compare ourselves to. So in fitness, I'm looking at the average person thinking that I'm doing all right. But compared to someone on this level, this personal trainer's level, I've got a long way to go. So I'll give you another example. In my young 20s, when I started off with my online career, my business, I never compared myself to the average person financially because I knew that the average person is carrying around a lot of debt and they're not doing very well financially. So in that area of my life, I never compared myself to them. I would always read about people who were doing incredibly well, watch videos about these people, and in my mind, they became my peers. That's who I wanted to be like. I wanted to be on their level. So I would compare myself to them. And I would always find myself very far behind where they were. So I was never really happy with where I was. I always wanted to do better. And that was a driving force behind me doing pretty well in that area because I wanted to do really well. I looked at these people who were at the top of their game and I compared myself to them. And what a lot of people do is when they get stuck at a lower level in a certain area that's important to them, like me with my fitness, they make that mistake of comparing themselves to people doing average. But if you're striving to be in that top 5% in any field, you've got to stop doing that. You've got to look at those who are at the very top of their game and then make them your peers in your mind. You've got to look at where they are, learn about what they did to get to that level, and you compare yourself to them. When you put in your effort for the day, you can't look at the average effort. You've got to look at what would someone in that top 5% category do. This personal trainer, I asked him about his own fitness habits and he told me that he works out for 2 hours intensely every single day. Well, again, I've been comparing myself to the average person who doesn't really work out at all. So when I put in my little 30 minutes a day, I was feeling pretty good about that. But now I realize, okay, if I want to get to a much higher level, well, I've got to compare myself to someone who looks at, 1-2 hours a day as being acceptable, and I've got to bring myself up to that level. So look at your circle of peers. Who do you select to be in that circle that you compare yourself to? And if you want to get better, if you want to be among the very best in whatever field's important to you, well, compare yourself to the very top performers. That's it for today. I hope you get some value out of that, and we'll talk tomorrow.